Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Big Joe Recovery. We're going to do a little session with my friend Celine, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Big Joe Recovery. I know you are a great supporter of me, and I appreciate that so much.
Yes,
One of my biggest fans, right?
Yes, number one fan.
That's right.
That's right.
You gotta love it. Support is crucial.
Yes.
And so you know briefly about what I do, and it's about giving back, being of service and trying to help the next person find a better way to live, finding the true you, creating your journey. For me, finding me took a lot of time. Took a lot of trial and error, we should say. Bumps and bruises, plenty of them. I got proof all over my body, the actual physical ones. But let me introduce myself. I'm Joe. I'm a person in recovery. I have not had a mind-altering substance since 11/11/21. Coming up on 3 years, God willing. And this is just amazing that I finally am growing up. And but I would like to introduce the viewers to you and put our faces of recovery, and that life gets great. If you really put your mind to it and find a new way to live. That suffering is not the way to go. At least, please introduce yourself however you would like to this beautiful audience here.
Hi, I'm Celine Diepa. I am a woman in recovery. I work here at CCAR. I am a EDRC coach when needed. But currently I am a CCAR training team coordinator.
Big thanks.
I facilitate and coach and co-host trainings. And prior to CCAR, I was assisting other people in addiction as well. I was helping the homeless. I was helping them find housing. And prior to that is when I came into recovery. And what led me to recovery, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I say it all the time.
I was literally chasing a constant high, literally. And that high was to survive, literally, because I had to drink every single day. If not, I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. And prior to that, I was like on a 4-year run up until that point. Because the first time I ever tried detox, I did it for 5 days. Met a guy in detox. Thought God
detox romance.
Thought my God sent me my charming prince in the doggone detox.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah. So that didn't last long. But needless to say, I found out what his drug of choice was at the time, which wasn't the same as mine. And that's when everything just like broke off, because he took off with my truck for a week. And then after that, he came back and I obviously relapsed. And then that's when my run basically started.
That 4 year?
Yeah, that 4-year run. And it was bad because within that 4 years, 2 of them, I was not grieving the loss of my sister. And when I started to grieve her is when I really lost it. Lost it, because I couldn't get over the concept that she was in the dirt, like she was not here. I was 30 at the time, she was 33. I'm like, why? I had all these questions, no answers.
Yeah.
And the more I grieved, the more I was setting myself in a hole. That's when I became homeless. That's when I became, all these other things, which I had never thought in a million years that I would ever be in that position.
Yeah, never think that.
Never. Because I've never been that type of person. But you just never know,
like the barbershop saying, you go to a barbershop long enough, you eventually get a haircut.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also made me realize too that tomorrow is not promised.
That's true.
Because
today.
the night before I lost her, I was the last person she talked to.
Remember you told me this.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
so needless to say, that's when my addiction really took off, and I'll never forget, being in my truck and being with my dog and being homeless, and it wasn't a good feeling at all. But I know that anytime I tried to stop, that's when the DT started, and they just continue. And that's when I knew, that's when I knew that it was really, really bad. But I think when it really hit me, how bad it was, is when I used to be outside of the package store every day at 7:55 in the morning, and be mad at 5 after 8 when they're taking their
where you at,
time.
man?
Yeah, I'm over here shaking.
We got similar stories.
Yeah,
Say we can always relate to each other. You can relate even more when you're in recovery because there's more positive things to talk about.
Right.
A new way to live.
And I was literally every day, sun up to sundown, sun up to sundown, sun up to sundown, nonstop. But then it came to this one Sunday, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I was just like done. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks,
Yeah.
And I remember that Sunday because I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Is when I found that pint of Hennessy in the bathroom because I hid it on myself a previous time and didn't even realize it. So when I found it, I drank it and my levels changed instantly.
You still have an expensive habit though. Hennessy, that's not cheap.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. But there was times where I could get it and times when I couldn't get it. So.
Yeah, I got it.
But if I had a preference, it was definitely that.
What you want?
Yeah, and to this day, I can't stand the smell. Like, oh my god!
It's like a Fireball, no way.
That was my other one. Yep.
It's got antifreeze in it. They say, what the hell are we thinking?
Oh my god!
It's insanity right there.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm so glad. So glad.
It's a blessing.
It is. That Sunday. So when I found that bottle, I drank it. Less than an hour, it was gone. Passed out. Woke up with the shakes. Real bad. Sweat.
I used to get the hot and cold sweats all the time.
Jump in the shower, jump out, jump in. Oh my god.
Blank it out.
Yeah. But then I was like, I can't do this no more. I can't. And then my self-detox started for 4 days. For 4 days, nobody would take me. Nobody had a bed. And they kept telling me it's either you drink or go to the emergency room. And I didn't want to do neither one of them because I was already, but I was so afraid that I was going to have a seizure or I was going to pass out or something was going to happen to me.
Very common.
And then I didn't drink for those 4 days. But when I finally got the call for a bed from Rushford, prior to that call, I was on my hands and knees.
You called on your own?
Yeah, I called every day on my own.
Oh, I do remember
every
you
day.
mentioned,
Yeah, every day on my own. And that Sunday, that Sunday is when it started, but that Thursday, I got on my hands and knees and said, I'm going to try this one more time. And I called for my higher power. I was cussing him out. Like, look, if you need
Where you at?
This is when I need you. I need you now.
Yeah.
I said, if you any type of God, find me a goddamn bed. I need this. I need this. I'm telling you, if you find me a bed, I'll never turn back. Never turn back. I just need you to help me now. I got up off my hands and knees, and the phone rang, and it was Rushford.
That's something.
And I haven't turned back since.
That's how you know something's greater than us out there for sure. If that's not proof, I don't know what is.
When they called, they said, is this Celine Diep? I said, it sure is. And they said, you still looking for a bed? I said, yes. Can I come now? They said, no. I said, what you mean no? They were like, no, you got to come at this time. We got certain times you could come. I was like, wait. No, I need to come now. I ain't going to make it to noon. And they were like, I'm sorry, you can't. So I had to, figure out what I was going to do.
Excitement.
So, but I still had the withdrawals real bad.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even drive. So I ended up getting an Uber there.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter Ubered me to and from
Yep.
detox. And then when I got out, I was scared as hell to come out of that detox.
Yeah. Unknown, fear of the unknown.
Yeah. And I remember that nurse telling me, if you weren't afraid to leave, I would be worried.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see that lady to this day. Because she told me, you're going to do it. I believe in you too.
You know certain people when you get that
She
feeling.
didn't say, I believe in you. She said, I believe you're going to do it. Or some remark to that. But she said, what I do remember is she said, if you're not scared, I would be worried. And I was so scared because I felt so safe in that place.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came out, I was just so willing to do whatever it takes to stay sober.
Yeah.
To stay sober. And I just continue to pray, continue to work my program, which I still do to this day.
You have to.
Which I'm so grateful for, because if I didn't have that willingness, I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
I wouldn't be here.
Neither one of us.
And I'm so grateful that every day that I wake up that I am grateful and I'm still willing to do this.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, because the only thing I was willing to do was drink.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I'll never forget it. Like, this is my time of the season. I love the fall.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. So
hoodie weather.
Yes.
Hoodie or a t-shirt.
Yep,
You
yep.
can't call it.
Both. Yep. Depending on how we feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. So 10, 11, 17 was my
10, 11.
Yep.
I'm 11. That's fun.
10, 11, 17. It will be 7 years.
Yeah. Nice.
And now, like, even being with CCAR for a little over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. I've seen you grow through this company. That's amazing.
And you know what? You know what I wanted to tell you too?
What's that?
Because we were in the class together.
Yeah, the
right?
RCA, the Recovery Coach Academy. Yeah.
And one of the things that I said in that class is that I got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's right. I say it all the time.
And look, I'm doing a podcast with you. I'm doing a YouTube video with you.
Yeah, he does something.
And I said, I got to get out. I got to do more. I got to, go out, do things. And I've been doing that. Yeah. I've been doing exactly what I said I was going to do.
That's right.
And I love
integrity.
It. Yes.
Integrity.
Yes.
My favorite word.
Yes.
We're actually in her old coaching office right now.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that. I was talking with Celine a little earlier, and she is an amazing resource broker. That's one of our traits as recovery coaches here at CCAR. Mm-hmm. And she will write things down. Like, I was just telling her I'm apartment searching, and she's got the notepad down, and she's like, okay. It's told her the towns, and that's that listening and asking the good questions that we preach here at CCAR.
Yeah.
And I've seen you in action, and this phone, that phone, multiple people. You got to go to this hospital, that hospital. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite thing about being a recovery coach in the emergency room? I know you've moved on up, but what was the like when you first started? What was your adrenaline like? Meeting these new people that got a chance at recovery, because that's what people are viewing, trying to gear towards the newcomer. Mm-hmm. What can we do to attract recovery, to get out of that crazy lifestyle we live, being at the package store at 7:55? Mm-hmm. I'd be there at 7:30 sometimes, or try to get to a bodega and try to get one of the king beers to hold you over. Right.
Mm-hmm. One thing prior to going into the recovery's room is I always pray. Yeah. I always pray to give me guidance, watch over me and that person. Yeah. If they're willing, let them be able to talk to me, to tell me what they need, what they want, and what are they looking for. Yeah. Because I'm there to help them and to guide them, not to tell them what to do, but to help them and guide them.
Yeah. How can I help you in your recovery plan?
Right. And also be there for them all the way through. I still have recoveries that I talk to. Let them know that recovery is possible. I'm living proof. Mm-hmm. And if they ever wanted to know, I'll be more than glad to show, give them my story. But if they don't, that's okay too. But I can still help you. Yeah. And I've never passed judgment ever.
Yeah, we gotta put
You
those
know, it
biases
doesn't.
aside.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody needs help.
Yeah.
Everybody. Doesn't matter. Listen.
Something
Addiction.
affected our lives that got us to that point.
Right. And it doesn't have a color. It
No.
doesn't have anything but addiction. That's it.
It comes for anybody and everybody.
Yes, it does.
If you're not careful. Some people can go to the bar and have one glass of wine and be fine. We are not those people.
We are not.
No. And that's the difference with, I call them the normies.
Yeah.
And I hope to have one on soon and see their point of view. Like, why can't you just understand that addiction is real and recovery is realer? Because we're trying to be what normal is in society.
Right.
And I think we're killing it. We're crushing it. You know?
Absolutely.
Like I said, we're living proof. And
Definitely.
I wouldn't say we're behind on the spectrum, but it's like through the years of addiction, we've lost a piece of us along the way. And it's finding that piece. And that's what I created this for. It's finding you, finding the real you. Because most of us, the majority of people are good people. I believe us as human beings are good people.
Yeah.
And look what we do, we give back. And that's what it's all about. And I was trying to be that person in addiction, you know. I was always helping anybody who I have compassion. And I see that in you big time. And talk about compassion.
And this, to me, I see this as me truly just being myself.
Yeah.
Because when I was born or brought up, I was living for them, what they wanted me to be, what they wanted me to do. I didn't know nothing else other than that. But today, I can live me.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for them. I was here for me. But I didn't know that until I came into recovery.
Yeah.
You know, I was living a life that my parents wanted me to live, not a life that I wanted to live. I didn't even know I had a choice until then, you know.
Childhood's rough.
Yeah.
It's really lost. I was lost in my childhood.
Yeah.
It's scared. Really, like, if I do this, here's the consequence behind that. You know, if I do that, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't worry nowadays.
I don't either.
I don't fear. We're just talking about this in my journaling class. I don't fear change, you know. I embrace it. As long as it can be positive, and I know it's not going to hurt me or my recovery, it's the only way I can grow and break that cycle with my daughter I talk about. You know, she gets to see this side of Dad, which Dad's never seen this side.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
But I know it gets better every day.
It does. It does.
Yeah. How's your relationship with family members and stuff now that you've been in recovery for 7 years? Like,
so
are you that go-to trustworthy person?
Well, my family unit is not really that big.
Okay, me neither.
I lost my mom 2 years ago to addiction. And my dad is still an alcoholic to this day. And we know as people in recovery that you are ready when you say you are.
That's right.
And until then, you know, I still love him. I still love him. I still support him. I'm there for him. I just gotta know my distance, know my boundaries, know what I can and cannot deal with. You know, I've tried to help him several times, and he just wasn't ready, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I have a good relationship with the other people in my family, like my daughter. My daughter is my everything.
Yeah.
You know, that's my ride to die right there, and she always has been. And it's amazing now because I can actually reflect back at times with her when I was actively in my addiction. And even though she was an adult when that happened, she wasn't 21, but she was 18. And that's also, you know, like when I started to like live, so to speak, because I did my part. I'm done. It's time to party type deal.
That was funny, the mentality back then. Oh, my Lord. For real.
Exactly. But, you know, she's my best friend. You know, I still stay in my mom guard though. You know, gotta have that.
Yeah,
gotta have
that's
that.
boundaries. You gotta have some of them.
But that's my girl, my number one girl. But I have a good relationship with her. I do, and that came a long way.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't trust me. She couldn't trust me. She didn't know.
What's going to come out of you?
Yeah, every time I would ask her for money, what are you getting it for? Why are you getting it? You know, let me go get it for you if that's what you want. And you know, you ain't going to get this. No,
Shut down.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad I don't have to worry about that no more. You know, if I ask her for something today, she ain't got no problem giving it to me whatsoever. You know, and I love that. I love that. But I also learn from her too.
Yeah.
You know, we learn from each other. And also something that I learned too as being a recovery coach, something that CCAR could never get us prepared for is what you're going to see in that ED.
Yeah.
What you're going to see in that ED, they can never prepare you for.
That's right.
Number two thing that they can't prepare you for is what is something that's going to come out of someone else's mouth. And that is definitely something that I have learned and had to bite my tongue sometimes. And bite, you know, like walk away sometimes from a scene because of what's going on.
A reminder of who we once were. You know, every day I think and I wake up and I say, wow, another day clean, another 24. I'm not that angry guy. Used to have that vein on the side of my head popping out. I can barely see it now. It's like, that took time and patience.
Yeah.
This is not a race, it's a marathon.
That's right.
And you
Exactly.
said it takes time. Yes. Recovery's not going nowhere. I'm in it until my calling, until I'm done with this place, you know?
Yeah. And you know how I see it too is, you know, time is all we have, but it's time that we must earn.
Yeah.
You know? And addiction is, don't discriminate.
Sure
but
don't.
nor does love. You know?
Yeah.
Nor does love.
Love can be many things too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be what everybody thinks love is, and that's that attraction. No, love is caring for others, and just to know that, you know, somebody, you handing a card at the emergency department, even if they're not ready in that moment, they have your card and they can say, you know what, let me call this number. The hardest part, calling that number.
Picking up the phone. I said, and I tell them too, you don't even have to call me, just text me.
Yeah.
Tell me what you need.
With
Tell
the
me what
technology
you need, what you're
nowadays,
looking for.
email, whatever.
However you want to translate it, do it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Sometimes the smallest things that people need are a smile or a high five or whatever it may be. I go out and about, like we're talking about integrity, and when I'm out shopping or doing whatever I have to do in the public, I'm me all the time. And then if I see somebody that's struggling, you can tell by the attire.
Yeah. You can identify.
Just identify it. At least say hi and smile. And me being a coach and where I'm at today, I have to go a little bit above and beyond with that. You know, at least say, hey, what's going on? You all right? And give them that card.
Yeah.
So if I'm grocery shopping, I make sure the car is stacked with cards, you know?
If you're not ready today, call me and let me know when you are ready. I'm here for you.
And there's guys that I've seen multiple times, and I'm sure he's probably lost the card. So let me give him another one, you know? Persistence. It's with anything. Persistency, consistency, positivity.
And just letting them know that you're still there.
Yeah.
And letting them know you're there without no judgment.
Yeah.
And that's something I used to say to them, you know, when I go into the room, is that I'm not here to judge. I'm in the same shoes as you.
Yeah.
I'm just a little further along. That's
right.
it. That's it.
That's a big thing. We can't compare each other to ourselves in recovery. If anything, we should be celebrating each other's recovery.
Exactly.
You are where you're at. I love it. I'm hoping one day Big Joe Recovery takes off and that I'm sitting in that office, executive director, like Phil Valentine. Shout out to Phil, my guy. You know, yes. Congratulations on your retirement. It was a nice, it was a nice party, and it's nice to celebrate people that have done big things. You know, and that's by being persistent.
Right.
You know, and we're doing it just because it's not broadcasted every day. Nobody really sees what happens behind the scenes.
That's all right.
It is all right.
He sees it.
Somebody sees it up there.
Yes.
And it's fulfilling to the heart.
Yeah.
I remember it being so empty for so long. And I know that the whole death thing with your sister, my father, and my uncle, and grandmother, and those 10 years I had from 21 to 30, so 9 years. death after death after death, and just drinking at every funeral. I haven't told this. They're like, what's going on? This guy, bathroom every 2 minutes, to his car, in and outside, smoking a cigarette, popping a nip. What's he doing? Like, and nobody said nothing. Like, either they were scared to say something, or I don't know. They were like, that's just him, you know.
Yeah.
It's not me today, and suppressing those feelings, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's why I love my journaling group. I even brought it with me, you know. Journaling.
I carry mine with me every day.
Gratitude. I'm grateful for. Look at this. 131:24. Money I do have, staying disciplined, and God. That was for that day on January 31st. Yep. And there's always a quote of the day, too, that gets me. Look at that. Being thankful is not always experienced as a natural state of existence. We must work at it. Akin to a type of strength training for the heart.
Isn't that the truth?
And I just flipped to this random page. See how the higher power works? Gotta believe in something.
Gotta work for it. Definitely.
You gotta work for it.
You gotta meet them halfway.
Gotta meet somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta do your part. You gotta do your part.
Yeah.
Because he'll take you to it and he'll take you through it. You gotta do your part.
Through it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing some of your experience, strength, and hope, and what you do, because you can do it too.
Yes, you can.
Sure can. Putting your mind, putting the work in. You know, as soon as you start doing it, I believe it's not that bad. It's not that hard. You just got to start somewhere, right? What's the biggest piece of advice I ask everyone that comes on? Did you go offer a newcomer or somebody new in recovery that's still like, I'm not sure, got that foot half in, half out? What's something you would suggest?
Something I would suggest is, if you want it bad enough, trust me, you can have it. You just gotta want it. You gotta be willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. If you can go and constantly get high or get drunk every day, you could put that time and effort into your recovery and let someone else love you until you're able to love yourself.
That's a good one. You know,
that was one of the hardest things I had to do, is to trust and believe in someone else to love me before I could love myself.
real love.
Real love.
Yeah.
Non-judgmental love.
Yeah.
And just to know that we all have a common denominator, and that is addiction.
Yeah.
But somebody could still love us with that addiction.
That's true.
Without any strings attached to them.
Yeah.
So I would say it's not what you want, it's how bad you want it. If you want it bad enough, you're willing to do whatever it takes and let someone love you until you're able to love yourself.
That's right. And if you fall, get back up. Even if it's 6, 7, 8 times.
Yes.
Sometimes you might hit that, heard it in my group earlier, 53 times. That 54th time.
Just might be it.
It's
It's not what you do at your fall, it's what you do from that fall.
And what did you learn from the previous fall?
That's right.
Try to learn at least a little something from that. Because that'll equal success. No. Failure to success. And we all have something in our lives that we succeeded at one point in time. Whether you were good at math in school when you were in elementary school or whatever, maybe something made us happy at one point in time. I think it's finding that happiness that's inside. True happiness.
Absolutely.
Comes from within.
That's right.
Thank you, Celine. Let me get another day.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Check y'all soon. We got a busy week coming up with a lot of special guests. So thanks for coming on. Thank you, Celine.
You're very welcome.
See y'all soon. Take care now.